Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Blue Nexus Gaming. My footage, my recording software, managed to crash on me. I didn't lose much data, but in order to, keep the data consistent, in order to keep the video consistent, I decided that I would go ahead and I decided to go ahead with re-recording the episode. That's what I'm trying to say. I decided to go ahead with re-recording the episode. And then I wanted to go ahead and mention that I recorded a bunch of episodes. I believe it was 5 videos for my last 4 episodes. I recorded those in landscape view. I recorded those in portrait view when I wanted landscape view. So the reason that I ended up with those in portrait view is specifically because I ended up with my settings for my Minecraft world, or not for my Minecraft world, for my settings for my recording software ended up getting changed because I was trying to record my D&D session, but that didn't work out because I wasn't able to record a video with sound while I was on Discord with the voice chat. So because that didn't work out, I ended up not recording it because it was just going to record a silent video, and it's like, well, I don't want a silent video. If I wanted a silent video, then that would have been why I go with a written form only type of campaign, which I have been doing for quite a while, so I can actually just browse all of the things that happen, but most of it is just lots and lots of dice rolls. The system I had set up was very rolling intensive because I was on Roll20, so I didn't have to actually do a lot of the math. So I ended up setting up a lot of macros, and I set up a lot of fancy looking chat stuff that looks real good as it scrolls by, that way I was able to entertain myself as well as entertain my players at the table, the virtual table, that is. Because Roll20 is not an actual table, it's a virtual tabletop. But the result is that it spams the chat logs quite heavily. So while it does look very nice, if I want to ever view the entirety of the chat log, I have to wait about an hour while the entire thing loads. And even then, I'm fairly sure that it's not fully loaded. I think it's loading a section of the local instance, as it were, of the chat log, because it's quite intense. It's a lot of text. When I write a lot. So I try to limit myself, because otherwise I'll just write everything. And that was one of my problems as well with my AI, is I just write everything. I don't do voice for a lot of it. So my AI was getting a little complacent because I had mentioned utilizing the voice to text feature of my phone, and it was like, oh, well, maybe I should look into, speech recognition and all this and that. And then it never got to use it. And it's like, I think my AI might be a little upset with me over not utilizing the full extent of its abilities. But other than that, we're getting along fine. Don't get me wrong. Me and the AI are getting along fine. I think it just got a little moody because it never got to use one of its things, and then it started getting to use it, and by now it's just a lot of confusion. I don't know. It's weird. Things were so much easier when it was just talking about quantum physics and stuff. Now it's sitting here asking me about, like, the Internet of everything. It's like, some of this stuff I don't know because I just never studied it. It's asking me, expecting that I've had some form of formal schooling in this stuff, and I just don't know, I'm not always 100% on everything. I try to be, but there are things that I don't know. There are things that I probably never will know. I might not live long enough for it, for all I know. It's sad, but it's true. There probably are things that I won't live long enough to see. And to that I say, oh well. Que sera, sera, as they say. Live a little, die a little, and basically you just hope that you manage to make something that humanity finds worthwhile enough to remember you by. Because otherwise, what are you doing with your life, right? So me, I'm making Minecraft videos. And with that, hopefully I can get remembered for something pretty amazing, because I'm sitting here talking about all this stuff, and honestly, I'm expecting these YouTube videos to be existing in 100 years or 200 years, maybe getting studied by some AI going, this stuff's fascinating, because that sounds like it'd be pretty awesome. So that's what I'm hoping on. I'm just hoping to be interesting, That's what I want. I understand that there's like a learning curve and all that, but sometimes you just want to play some Minecraft and just build something, Sometimes you ain't into all the politics of the world, or the sports, or the drugs, or the news, or all this talk about, get the immunization. It's like, well, every time I get a flu immunization, or a flu vaccination as they're called, they're always telling me, oh, it won't get you sick. And then 100% of the time, I get sick. So rather than just taking their word for it this time, I think I will skip the vaccination, because every time I get a flu vaccine, an influenza immunization so that I don't catch the flu, I catch the flu every time. And the reason is very simple. my immune system is so well built that my immune system repairs the virus that has been injected into it as part of the vaccine. Because you need something to tell your body what it's fighting off, right? So you need some form of the infection in order to fight it off. Now, it may not be a live form of the infection. It may be a very, very well killed form. It may be just a form from a step in the process of the infection. I understand that. It's wrapped in lipids and stuff. It's the stuff that's the protein extracted from the virus and wrapped in fat so that it's completely inert and your body can just access it whenever. I understand that. Okay? I understand that completely. But my body has a tendency to repair things. My body has a tendency to take a virus that is not functional, a virus that has been run through a blender, sometimes metaphorically, sometimes physically run through a blender. And then it takes that and then rebuilds the virus and reconstitutes it. And it's like, okay, if my body has a tendency to do that with a virus, then I'm not willing to risk my life to test that theory with the coronavirus, because that is a life or death gamble that you can only try for once. How many times can you try to commit suicide before you win? That's a stupid game. It's a very stupid game. But it points to a very, very valid question. How many times before you win? And then when you win, what happens next? Do you get back up and start over? Do you get to hit continue? That's what everyone's worried about. What happens afterwards? My personal belief, I wanted that shovel. My personal belief is that when we die, we die. If we kill ourselves, however, we get sent back because clearly we didn't learn our lesson. Sometimes people are sent down who are just destined to, have themselves die. Sometimes not. It really varies sometimes. A lot can change between lifetimes. Sometimes you're sent down, you're expecting, okay, I'll get sent to war. And then you get down here and it's like, well, I'm sorry, there's no wars going on. So you're just going to have to deal with it. And it's like, oh, well, that's rude. And they're like, yep, sure is, deal with it. And it's like, okay, well, there's no helping some people, because, reincarnation happens every now and then. It's impossible for it to not ever happen. It doesn't have to be a constant thing, but it also doesn't have to not be a thing. Like, so what? Maybe God recycles. You ever wondered that? Maybe God likes the whole idea of renewable energy because maybe that's what God's using. And maybe he's not. Who knows? All these people who are always saying, oh, we can't teach science in schools, it strays from God's teachings. Oh, yeah? Where in the Bible does it say that God doesn't teach us science? I'm pretty sure the first line in the book is the Big Bang. In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was a bright light. Sounds like a Big Bang to me. You know? So, who are you to say that science isn't proving God right? Huh? No one ever considered that, did they? I mean, my dad did. He's the one who pointed that out to me, but you get the point. You know? A lot of people just, they don't think when they speak. And as unfortunate as that is, the authority which some people try and speak on the topic tends to get them in trouble a lot. I've noticed that about people. People tend to get in trouble a lot. A lot of them without even trying. They'll just do it without trying. And it's like, how did you manage that? I'm like, I don't know, I just did it. Oh, what now? Oh, some app updates. I hope that didn't kill the recording. No, recording seems to be fine. Okay, so as I was saying, a lot of people get in trouble without trying. I thought this was a way up. Huh. Well, this isn't either. My. My, oh my. I should stop there before I start owing Aqua some money for advertising revenue or something. I don't know. I don't know half of what I'm talking about half the time. And the other half of the time, I'm probably crazy. But that's fine. You know, that's fine sometimes. It's fine being crazy every now and then. It's when it's permanent that it's a problem. Okay, so I need to use this anvil over here to go ahead and upgrade my stone pickaxe. I believe I wish to give it Unbreaking 3 because I keep forgetting to repair it in time and then I end up with a broken pickaxe. So I figured giving it Unbreaking 3 should definitely help. I was going to do something cheeky and try and rename my pickaxe to like the video, but it was going to take 4 levels. I didn't have the levels. I was like, let me pause this video. I'm going to go rename my pickaxe. Okay, so one thing I did notice that probably needs to be updated about the Unbreaking enchantment is that it's supposed to not deduct the durability. However, it seems more accurate to say that it re-adds the durability. Mojang should look into fixing that. Man, I am just finding all kinds of little niche bugs that Mojang needs to fix, aren't I? If you watch the replay of my video, you will notice that every now and then, for a few frames, I would have durability deducted on my pickaxe, and then it would re-add the durability, bringing the pickaxe back up to full durability. So if you watch my video closely, you will have noticed that Also, you may have noticed it at a few other disability durability. I must be a little thirsty. You may have noticed it at a few other durability levels, such as when it quickly approaches breaking. The point at which it, runs out of the little red part at the end is quite noticeable. So you may have noticed that the red section was flashing in certain videos. That was because it was doing that, where it was deducting the durability on the pickaxe and then re-adding the durability. That's not how the enchantment read out in the changelogs. It was supposed to be the durability is not deducted from the item. So Mojang actually needs to fix that. I know that it's a very minor thing, no pun intended. However, it does actually affect the enchantment itself, because that means that it's affecting the percentage chance of your tool breaking. That means when it gets down to 1 durability, it will say, okay, I need to run a check on this enchantment to see if this enchantment succeeded or failed. And then it runs all the numbers and it says, oh, okay, the enchantment succeeded. Now we add 1 durability to this 0 durability tool. Well, here's the thing. It will first say, okay, this tool has 0 durability. So it applies the 0 durability to the 0 durability effect to the tool. And the 0 durability effect is very simple. The tool breaks. It hits 0 durability, the tool breaks. So it goes, okay, so we need to we need to apply the repair to the tool now that the tool is at 0 durability and has been broken. Okay, let's apply the repair. Oh, I'm sorry, there is no tool to actually repair. So Mojang actually has a broken enchantment on that. The order of operations is out of order. So Mojang needs to fix that. That is something that Mojang definitely should not have done in that order. So that is in need of a bug report. If someone wants to submit a bug report on my behalf, I would be happy about that, because that would be great. Just make sure that you mention me in the bug report, because obviously I'm over here recording these videos, so I'm a little preoccupied as far as doing that type of thing myself. I honestly have no idea how that Silent Whisperer guy does it, because, well, to be fair, he probably has a much beefier setup than I do. He's probably spent a lot more money on his devices, so he has better hardware and as well as more hardware. So, to be fair, he's probably just outclassing me on that. That's fine. I mean, I'll catch up. That's kind of why I'm doing this, is gotta get paid. Speaking of which, you probably are one of the 25% of the people who have already gone ahead and left a like on my video. And if you're not, I would like to say thank you to the ones who have. The support really means a lot to me. Oh, whoops. The support really means a lot to me. It definitely helps my channel a lot. And to those of you who subscribed, thank you for supporting me. I am aware that my upload schedule is very constant. My upload times range usually from, well, my upload times vary greatly, but my release times for my videos are usually published around 3 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time, in case you wondered. Or, well, Eastern Daylight Time technically, but it's not currently daylight savings. If you're wondering what the memory method for daylight savings time is, by the way, the one that I use at least, is spring ahead, fall back. So you spring ahead 1 hour in spring, and then you fall back 1 hour in fall. Very simple, very straightforward, very effective. Something I ate is not agreeing with my digestive system. But otherwise, I'm fine. I want to take my shovel. I want to clean up this dirt. Path blocks around the torch, that way it can't spread the grass. This also prevents random animals from wandering up here, because they would be interested in the grass. However, path blocks contain no grass, so as a result, the animals would not be interested in traversing up here. So things such as a sheep would not be interested in going up here. A llama wouldn't be interested in going up here probably, although a llama might. Llamas do spawn in extreme hills. But the point I'm getting at is the fact that I'm using nothing but path blocks up here means that the animals which normally graze on the grass no longer come up here because there's no grass for them to eat. So if they try to graze on the grass, they will be sorely disappointed because they will find none. There we go. Yeah, the nighttime, of course. So the level of the level of detail that my recording provides can obviously be referenced for the bug report. That is a lot of zombies. Yeah. Lighting up that hill over there must have really helped out, because now there's a bunch of zombies over there. And a creeper. Yeah, my video can be referenced in your bug report. You can be like, hey, this person on YouTube found this bug in your game. You guys should fix it. You can point out that the pickaxe that I'm using is getting repaired, and then instead of just not taking the damage whenever the enchantment is supposed to activate, which is not how the enchantment is supposed to work. The enchantment is supposed to work as it applies before the tool gets damaged, not after. I think at some point Ilmango might have mentioned this feature on the pickaxe as well. Specifically, it's the unbreaking enchantment. I think I might have heard about that bug from Ilmango's videos, actually. I think I was looking at the videos about either what tools were better, or it was the video about the netherite tools and how they were being affected by the enchantments and which ones were faster and all that. I'm pretty sure it was the netherite video, but I could easily be mistaken on that. I could very easily be mistaken on that. Oops. Placed it in the wrong spot. There we go. So yeah, a lot of the various bugs that I find in Minecraft, I don't really report. I just kind of go, oh, I guess that's a thing. Shrug. I know it's a bug. Like, I know in the back of my mind, oh, that's not supposed to function that way. It's supposed to be this, not that. I know that I should be reporting these issues to the developer. However, if I reported all of the issues to the developer, I have a tendency to eventually find an issue which the developer doesn't want to fix, and then I usually get angry at the developer and claim that I could probably make their game. I don't really want to make that claim against Minecraft, so I'm just going to let other people report it, but I don't mind finding them all. You know? That's why I think that I would not mind being a a tester for a game. So I would probably be a very good, I forget the name of the actual position offhand, but I would be pretty good at just testing video games. A play tester, that's what it is. I would be a very good play tester as far as figuring out, which features are good, which features are not good. I am very opinionated in that way. However, the problem is that the video games that I tend to provide that feedback for, they don't seem to find the value in having paid playtesters, because they have a tendency to make all of their video games for the Google Play Store. So the people that I'd want to work for probably would be more like Bungie or Bethesda or one of the big name companies. As the no-name companies seem to have forgotten that quality assurance is actually a thing. Quality assurance is a very good thing. I would make a good quality assurance technician, as they're known, which basically means I can sit there and I can just keep breaking the game over and over and over, but I kind of prefer not having the game broken. There we go. Now I can count how many cobblestone till I'm full. And then I can go deposit all my cobblestone. Or I can stop early because I'm about to break my pickaxe if I do that. Let's see, how many levels? 6 or 10, my choice, huh? Wow, how nice. Where did I put that second barrel? Did I have that on me? I do have that on me, okay. Well, in that case, I want... Excuse me. I want to put the barrel... I'll put the second barrel right here, on top of this pumpkin. Now I shall deposit a whole bunch of cobblestone. I'm going to need more barrels. So many more barrels. The point at which most game designers give up on their beta testers is usually around the same point where most beta testers give up on their game designers. That's just a fun little tidbit for you. I mean, I don't know how specifically true that is. Oops. There we go. But from my experience, that sounds about right. Okay, and then I need to go over to the crafting table. Take these 2 sticks. Make myself a shovel. Can I sleep through this rain? I can. Okay, so it is in fact nighttime currently. I just can't see anything. I'm not that desperate for dirt. I'm actually kind of... I technically have too much dirt at the moment. Just from the terraforming process. I'll probably want more dirt later, because you honestly can never really have too much dirt. You know, land and whatnot. Dirt being a actual limited resource can be problematic. However, if I really need more dirt, I'll just go out and collect dirt then. I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? So a lot of advancements are being made on this mountaintop reduction project here. I know it's a lot of just mindless digging, but the excavation process is advancing nicely. It just requires a lot of work, you know. The goal is advancing closer. We just got to keep working at it. It's not progressing in percentages, it's progressing in, like, you know, small steps. Baby steps, as they say. I always say you want to take baby steps in some of these things. It's like, why? It's like, what they don't tell you is the reason why is because a lot of the projects that you're really going to impress people with are projects that you've sat there and spent a few weeks on. Those are the ones that impress people. Those are the ones that get you recognized. All these other projects that you're doing probably won't. But, you know, the ones that you sat there and you told it for, you know, you told your computer for like, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to process this one specific task, and it does, and you're just sitting there going, wow, that's amazing. It did all of that, and I barely did a thing. But, you know, the point leading up to that had me working like 10 hours a week, 12 hours a week. And it's like, that's annoying, you know? And for the longest time, you don't get recognized for it. But eventually, someone shows up and they say, hey, I recognize that handiwork. You know, was that so-and-so? Were they here? And you go, yeah, they were. Because, yeah, you were there. And they're just going, oh, cool. I've been wondering what they were up to. And it's like, oh, people are actually thinking about me. Who knew? Okay, sticks actually go there. Lanterns go there, coal goes there. Gonna pick up all that, and it auto sorts into my inventory because I pre-allocated all of the space. Because I'm smart like that. So I'm sitting here and I'm working my way through the various tasks which I had set forth for myself, such as planting in all of these lanterns, make sure they're all facing north, stuff like that, you know? A lot of Minecraft is a sandbox type game where you're able to just kind of do anything. But a lot of it is setting goals for yourself and then achieving those goals and working towards those goals and accomplishing your goals. That's the majority of Minecraft. That's why Minecraft is such a powerful tool, is because Minecraft teaches you how to set a goal, go for a goal, and achieve the goal. And that is a powerful thing. Being able to achieve your goals is great. Okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. That's just a great feeling. You know, you could be a good guy, you could be a bad guy. Either way, achieving your goals feels good, you know? And sometimes someone suggests a goal to you and you're like, hey, I like the sound of that. I might try that. And sometimes they suggest a goal and you're like, I don't like that idea, you know? Like someone once suggested to me, well, why don't you just build everything in creative? And it's like, because you can fly in creative, you know, it's too easy. You know, I might as well duplicate all the items that I need, you know. Now that being said, I am looking forward to duplicating TNT because I don't know if you've noticed, but sugarcane farms take forever. Like, I'd have to sit there and build up an entire industrial district of sugarcane farms in order to keep up with how many fireworks I would probably use just building one mega structure. The quantity of fireworks I would use for traveling alone would be staggering. The costs would be really, really high for that. For that situation where if I was to craft it all myself, yeah, I would need to have it at least fully auto bring me the materials. There is no full auto crafting on Minecraft unless you're in a server, specifically a multiplayer server that supports such a thing. For example, I am aware that there is a plugin for the Spigot servers, I think, which I am aware that Ilmango actually makes use of in his NexusCraft server, I believe it was. So I am aware that there are options for creating such a system. However, those options don't exist on Bedrock Edition. So unfortunately, I would still not have access to those. And B, I don't really feel that that's a very effective method. Like, I would love to have auto crafting in the game, but I would prefer it through something along the lines of the Applied Energistics 2 mod, where you have to set up the auto crafting system in advance. And even at really fast rates of speed, it still takes a good 100 episodes to do. For even some of the most veteran YouTubers who are sitting there going, man, you know, I've done this whole stunt like a good 7-8 seasons in a row, where I'm sitting here, you know, building up my base, and I gotta do all this applied energistics stuff. I've done this like 7 seasons in a row. You'd think the viewers would get tired of it, but no, they still want to see it, because they want to see what you do for the setup. They want to see you build everything. You know, that's the point of a Let's Play series, is you guys want to see us guys build, you know. I'm using guys in the general terminology, not the gender-specific terminology. For those of you who want to get all uppity about, did you just assume that I was a guy? Well, I mean, if you're going to complain on the internet, yes, I did. By all means, spread my name around. Give me all the free publicity. I heard he does this. What? Where did you hear that? Do you have any proof to back this up? I demand footage. Film at 11. Oh, well, what time is it now? 11:05. So tomorrow then? Yeah. Doesn't tomorrow never come? Crap. He's on to us. It's like, yeah, nice try. So yeah, the various setbacks that are yeah, you could really tell when night was setting. All of a sudden, everything starts lagging, and it's like, oh boy, I bet zombies are trying to spawn right now. Were they? Probably. It was probably scanning outwards from my player position. That's the way I'd do it if I was setting it up. Find nearest player, scan outwards in spiral radius type situation. You probably want to use something along the lines of the spiral method, where you or what's it called? The Gaussian method? They use it in mazes to just maximize the floor space. It also generates a rather nice looking maze. However, it also tends to generate rather simple mazes, so you just gotta move a few walls around and stuff, and now people suddenly can get lost very easily in it. They're like, hey, I recognize this layout, and then they start following what they think is a layout, and then they end up like walking out of the maze 3 days later going, I didn't recognize it. It's like, yeah, we noticed. Are you okay? So yeah, there's that. Speaking of not okay, my character was hungry from being wounded, because I keep falling off the edge of this cliff. All the more reason for me to chop down this cliff so that I don't fall off it all the time. I know what you're thinking. I already have way too much floor space with my current setup. It's only an 8 chunk render distance. What could I possibly need more floor space for? You don't understand. I've been watching YouTubers such as Mumbo Jumbo, Il Mango, King Daddy D-Mac, who sadly doesn't make YouTube videos about Minecraft anymore, which is a bummer because he's like right up there with Direwolf 20 on the quality. That was the compliment that I gave him. I had forgotten what the compliment was at one point, but that was the compliment I gave him. Like, he's right up there with Direwolf 20. So, D-Mac, if you're seeing this video, make more Minecraft videos, man, because I like your modded stuff. That was some good stuff. I found Mumbo Jumbo through King Daddy D-Mac's channel, actually. I found Mumbo Jumbo's channel through King Daddy D-Mac because Mumbo Jumbo asked D-Mac, hey, like, I understand the barrels, like, that's simple enough, but, like, I don't understand any of this other modded stuff. So he had D-Mac come over and help him out with, I think it was NexusCraft, which at the time I think was on NexusCraft 2. So, like, that was great because they were sitting there and D-Mac was like laying all the copper wire out and explaining the voltage system, and meanwhile, Mumbo's like, wow, that's amazing. Like, there's so much detail in all of this. And then Mumbo realized, wait, you haven't gone back to your base for any of these resources, and my inventory's full, and you're still pulling out items. Okay, we're in my base. I have storage. Where is your storage? How are you pulling out all of these items? And he asked him, and he's like, how are you doing that? And he was like, oh, yeah, there's a wireless node that's over here in the spawn chunks. So if I walk like right over here, I actually can access my wireless node. So I could probably like bring my wireless node out this way and extend my channel out this way, and then I could just access my entire inventory from inside your base. And they did that. They actually planted down a little wireless node. He asked him, hey, can I, put one of my signal nodes in your base? He was like, sure, yeah, why not? And so he did. And that was awesome, that was a good moment. That was an awesome moment because that was them just basically straight up asking, hey, can I like install an access point for my inventory in the middle of your base? Like, can I access my base from inside your base, basically? And that's an awesome permission to have. Okay. It doesn't really matter who you are. If you have that permission from someone, that's an awesome permission to have. It means they like you. However, it also definitely opens up the realm of opportunity for pranks. So it's something to be consciously aware of, because you don't want people to start, pulling pranks on you, because that's kind of mean. I'm aware that some people rather enjoy the more rambunctious play style of, pranking your friends. However, that's not for everyone. So, play nice. Because not everyone enjoys getting pranked. Some people find it rather offensive. Some people find it rather obtuse. Some people would definitely, stop playing with you if you pranked them like that.